Welcome back to Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. I am Joe Stoner. Here with us is our producer who makes all this shit possible, Jeff.
What's poppin', baby?
We're going to get our guy with all the takes, James, on the horn here shortly. But as you can see on the YouTube, and if you're not subscribed to the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube, Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. We have our second guest. It is Cleveland's own Jakey Football.
Jakey.
Glad to be here, guys.
Your mic's over here.
Sorry.
Welcome to the show, Jake. How you doing, Jake? What's up, man?
I'm doing great, man. Feeling great.
Hell yeah.
And this is the 13th episode of Cleveland's 13th or 14th? This might be the 14th.
13th.
Are you sure?
I'm
pretty sure it's the 14th, actually.
Joe Stoner should know this.
But Joe's a little stoned.
He is correct. And we're also coming off of a loss to the Miami Dolphins.
Should we even go there?
Let's get James on the horn.
All right, you're right.
Let's get James on the horn.
It's episode 14, boys.
It's 14. Hey.
14. Monday night football was 13.
Oh man.
That
is right because it wasn't.
It was Halloween. That was
Friday.
the. Yep. He's right. That's why he's here. He's our biggest fan.
I am the biggest YouTube fan. I
Shout
watch
out
them
to
all before they're even.
Do you like the
4K.
videos? And I know if you're lying because I checked them shits.
I do like the videos.
Do you like the videos?
Every single time.
My guy. Hey, fact check that shit. You getting him on the horn?
Here we go.
James.
Here, we'll go to him.
Look, he's looking at it.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, I was wrong on episode 13.
Yellow.
I did like this one already.
James with all the takes.
So this is the 13th then, to clarify.
14.
Oh, 14.
James with all the takes. Can you hear us?
Yes.
You are on episode 14, right? 14
Yeah.
of Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. Welcome, my brother.
James.
Say what now? Yeah.
Can you only hear Jeff?
No, I can hear. I can hear everyone. I just didn't hear that last part.
Well, I introed you into the podcast. I said, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine.
It's
All
late.
right, so this is week 13 of the awkward intros.
Well, it's late, no? It's very late.
No, it is late. Are you naked in bed right now, or?
No, I have shorts on.
No, I have shorts.
Shorts on, no top.
So,
Yeah, no top.
Can we get a video of that, please?
we haven't even started talking about the Cleveland Browns, so we figured we'd get you on the telephone before we started airing the fanatical grievances. We're going to just start with you. Any grievances you have to air out with this 39 to, what was it, 24 loss? 17 loss to the Miami Dolphins?
A blowout.
So the first thing I want to say is it's been a very rough week to be a Cleveland sports fan.
Why
With
say
the
that?
Cavs
lost
sliding. Yeah,
They lose
not
tonight?
great.
Yeah, they
Hey,
lost.
DG, but shout out DG, 51 points.
He had
He put up
50.
51
We'll talk
points.
about that later. Go ahead, James. We're going to talk about the Browns. Go ahead. Go into
Wasn't
the
enough, though.
go into it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was, really awesome beating the Bengals going into the bye week, seeming that things were going to be up. First series we script is beautiful, go down the field, and then defense just laid an egg. I mean, it's a tall tale sign, but, I was seeing on Twitter.
Whoa. Telltale sign. What do you mean by that? Telltale sign of what?
That this season is more likely than not lost at this point.
No.
Hey,
No. How can you
Watson
wait?
Practice tomorrow.
Watson can practice tomorrow, but we needed to go 2-1 in this span, and the fact that you're saying that the season's lost after one loss in the 3 games that we need to win. I mean, Josh Allen is hurt.
it's not that. It's the fact that we can't have every game be a must-win game. Winning out is not realistic. We did
Oh
not
yeah.
put ourselves in a good position to win.
That's
I
what
mean,
this season was going to be regardless. Every game up until Deshaun Watson came back was a must win.
okay, Joe, I don't think you're listening. It's the fact that we put ourselves in situations to where we could be in a much better situation, but we're also at the point right now to where it's not even like finishing out this season in a bad way or a strong way is going to mean anything since we don't even get our first round pick. So like all we can do at this point is make the Texans draft later in the first round.
But there's
Man.
still so much more football to play before you even look at that,
Yeah,
man.
fuck the draft, dude.
Like, why are you even thinking about getting the,
It's week what, 10?
why are you even thinking about, like, making the
talking about the
Texans draft
draft.
pick look
Are
worse?
you
Like,
guys like serious right now?
yeah, bro, I'm 100.
The entire you guys need to take a step back and look at reality. The entirety of the AFC East is above 500 right now. The
No.
AFC West is very, very good. The AFC South is somewhat turning a corner with the Titans, and the Ravens are going to be the Ravens. I don't know if you guys can read the room, but the Browns are we are barely a +1 to the dinner party right now. We have no invitation to the dance. And granted, we can still earn it, but someone on this show needs to have a firm grasp on reality, looking at the situation, knowing that we're probably going to miss out on the dance this year. But all I'm looking for in this point in the season now is for the offense with Deshaun Watson to click. And I really, really would like to see our defense. Well, the thing that really needs to happen on defense is we need the offseason to come around so we can fill that interior. Our interior is really young. We're missing, Malcolm Jenkins and Ogunjobi and all the veteran guys we used to have in that interior. And now it's just, we don't have seasoned guys. We can't stop the run. Our edge rush can only do so much. I think it's hilarious. There's so many clowns on Twitter that say Myles Garrett has no effect stopping the run. Like, yeah, no shit. That's not his job. His job's to get to the
Let me ask you. How many holding penalties against the Miami Dolphins did you see that were not called today?
Look, if we want to count every missed holding call against Myles
I'm
Garrett
not.
this
I'm not.
season,
That's
we'd
not
be
what.
here
That's
all
not
day.
what I'm asking you because I understand that that's what it is now. I understand that because of what he did to Mason Rudolph, it is what it is now when it comes to Cleveland Browns holding penalties. I'm asking you when it comes to blatant holding penalties, when you see somebody wrap somebody's other arm around somebody's neck, how many calls were missed today, but that they called the same penalties against the Cleveland Browns? How many push-offs were called that were called for touchdowns for the Miami Dolphins that were, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to address a little bit of that.
Look, I think it's a real cop-out move whenever we have to stop looking at the 11 guys that play the game and look at the 7 that officiate.
That's not what I'm not making that a cop-out move. I'm telling you, like, there was a certain way that the game was called today, no?
Yeah, there was a certain way the game was called today, but those certain ways don't stop Jeff Wilson Jr. scoring a touchdown.
No, I get that
untouched
because the
without-
game plan was to keep Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill in front of everybody. And then to form tackle the way that we did. Like, we just didn't. I'm not yelling at you or arguing with you. I'm just arguing with the fact that we didn't make any stops today when we needed to make a fucking stop. That's why it was 39 to what was it, Jeff? 17? 39 to 17.
We did make stops today. We stopped them on 4th and 1 in their own territory. But we got the ball back, but we laid an egg. This is a game where, shockingly enough, I really don't see why anyone would say fire Joe Woods after this game today.
I mean, I see what you're saying because the last 2 seasons, everything has come together and the defense has started to look good. But hang on, let me think about this for a second.
I mean,
This
it's not like anyone missed.
No, go ahead.
It's not like anyone missed their assignments. Our DBs and our corners were playing amazing. I mean, all the passes that were made today, though, that was Tua being a very good quarterback.
Denzel had a hell of a game.
For his first game back, yes, sir, he did.
I was just happy to see him on the field.
Today,
I mean, look, they didn't really complete any. They didn't really complete any downfield passes that were like spectacular or game changing. They really had to focus on their run game, and Miami did the same thing that Belichick did. Fucking just ran it down our throat and demoralized our defense.
Today's game was that game, and we've had a few of those this year, that if Deshaun Watson is playing quarterback, the outcome is a little different.
I still don't think we win. The
I'm
needs repaired.
I'm not knocking Jacoby Brissett. I'm just saying there are certain times when the pocket collapses, like Jacoby,
and he could take off.
Yeah. Like Deshaun could probably sense that a little quicker than Jacoby, but even so, maybe it takes when you're dropping back 5 steps, when you're taking it under center, and you don't have enough time because your tackles are getting beat off the edge. Like Jedrick Wills got beat all day long. Whoever played right tackle got beat all day long. So I'm not knocking Jacoby Brissett. I'm just saying, like, maybe if you have Deshaun Watson in a pistol formation and he takes that snap because you know that he can make it out of those situations because he's way more mobile than Jacoby Brissett is, maybe the outcome is a tad bit different. But we didn't use Kareem Hunt the way that we've been using him normally this season. Like, what the hell? Now Stefanski is scared to use Kareem Hunt? Now he's scared to run pass options to the flat when that would have worked today.
There was no fight on that front seven, man. There was nothing that the Cleveland Browns could do today. I mean, towards the end of the game, they were able to kind of open up the run because Jacoby low key was torching their defense. He was doing really well. It's just the sheer fact, this game plan, Miami came into the game, they knew exactly what to do. And Cleveland tried everything that they could try. This wasn't a game where the Cleveland Browns didn't play good football. This was just a sheer game where Miami's a better football team. Miami won the game. We got outplayed. We got outcoached.
They're just a better team.
And they outscored us. Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of grievances that I really have with today, other than the fact that we have young players on the interior defensive line, which is heavily showing against teams that are built for a balance and can run the football and can run power football by going in between the A and the B gap and not having to rely on an outside rush.
Let me
I gotta say, I've agreed
Browns on the inside and get to the second level. Like they had no problem getting to the second level today, and that was the big issue because our linebackers, Taki was everywhere, but we were so focused on keeping everything in front of us that we were letting them just beat us up inside the hash.
What were you saying, Jeff?
I got to say that I've agreed with everything James has said up to this point of this podcast. Like, the elephant in the room is this defense and this special teams. The offense, they can get us by, but not when we're giving up 40 points a game.
We
have talent and we're wasting it. I re-listened to, I think it was last pod or the pod before when James said that it's another year we're letting go of Myles Garrett's prime and Nick Chubb's prime. Mm-hmm.
But we knew that when we traded for Deshaun. We knew that this was a throwaway season. We knew that. That's why it's so frustrating. That's why. And you know why it's so frustrating? And you know why it makes it extra frustrating? Because we know that we have a team that hasn't really lost a game besides 2 now against the Patriots and the Dolphins.
Patriots and Dolphins.
We're the only ones that have beaten ourselves.
Yeah, yep.
And that's what makes it super more frustrating. And Jacoby has been so efficient. That's why when we come up here, it sounds like we're hating, but we're not hating. We're frustrated.
Yeah.
We should win these fucking games.
We could definitely be in the conversation right now.
We are the most rational fans. Are there people on Twitter that are saying, how many firsts can we get for Myles Garrett? We should
I don't understand that.
That's the heart and soul of this
people
fucking
saying
team.
We should trade Amari Cooper because that's an extra $20 million.
Don't understand that.
Because nobody was watching football 10 years ago.
A lot
of these
I'm so fed up with the old fucking narrative, right? Like, these aren't. Listen here. I'm gonna point to the camera, and like I said, subscribe to the YouTube. These aren't the old Cleveland Browns anymore. These aren't the fucking, okay, we drafted one quarterback, he's going to take us to the promised land because we don't have anybody else on the roster. No, this roster is built.
Yeah.
And we can continue to build on top of it. It's hurt right now. We're still missing Njoku. We're still missing the quarterback that we're paying $234 million to. We're missing Anthony Walker that's out with a knee injury for the whole fucking season. We're missing his backup that's out with what, an Achilles injury or a knee injury? I'm sorry if I don't know what it is, but I'm just ranting right now for the rest of the fucking season. Like, what the fuck do you want to do? We have a once-in-a-generational player in Myles Garrett. We have another once-in-a-generational player in Nick Chubb. Why the fuck are you trying to sell the farm? This isn't baseball. This isn't basketball. This isn't where you trade all that shit and you get a Donovan Mitchell, or you get the farm and you get a Steven Kwan, or you get a Cal Quantrill and you get a Josh Naylor. Like, let the shit ride out. I promise you next year, when number 4 is able to be in the fucking building the entire time, run a whole training camp, be in the fucking building, go the whole season.
It's gonna look a little different.
It's gonna look so much more different. And those of you that are calling for Jacoby Brissett's head, shut the fuck up, man. The guy has played efficient football in a Kevin Stefanski offense to where it never makes sense when it needs to make sense. Jacoby Brissett has made it work a tad bit. He's made it work way better than that motherfucker we had 4 years ago. For the last 4 years. Would you rather have that guy that's headbutting people coming off the sideline to go in concussion protocol when he's not even going to play a game in the first fucking place? Like, everything could be worse. We have been there. We have done that. Quit trying to break this Browns team up because we're literally that close. Stop it. Stop it. There's no reason to do it. There's no reason to talk. Like, I understand it's hard. It's hard to lose. But at the end of the day, with where we're at, it's going to work out.
See, I want to circle back to what you said about our defense. Like, we're missing a key run stop with Anthony Walker. And today would have been a lot different had we had Anthony Walker and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
You're 100% correct. If Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is out there, we have extra pressure on Tua Tagovailoa. Tua had so much time today, and that's not on us. That was the game plan. The game plan was to keep Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and everybody else in front of us to make sure that we could form tackle them. We forced them to run the football, and kudos to the Miami Dolphins. They did that successfully today. We pressured them to run, and they did it, and we couldn't stop them. And that's on us for not having the depth on the defensive line or at linebacker, for not having Anthony Walker or Phillips. But shout out Sione Takitaki and shout out Deion Jones on now 4 weeks of learning the playbook on being able to cover that. I mean, Tua made a bunch of good throws, man. He threw it over Myles Garrett a bunch of times. He threw it over Jadeveon Clowney a bunch of times. He punt faked Grant Delpit to throw that touchdown earlier. Like, credit the Miami Dolphins, man. They are good. They believe in what Mike McDaniel is selling. But that's bullshit on us to not be prepared after a full fucking week of preparation for this team.
Well, there's an accountability problem on defense today, and it wasn't spoken about, but I texted you, Joe. Perry and Winfrey wasn't on the trip this week. I mean, that's a draft pick right there.
Allegedly, he was clubbing.
Yeah, he's had off the field issues.
He's had issues all season. That's accountability on defense. There's a lack of respect and he's just a bad egg, or there's a culture problem. And
I think it might be the latter.
I think there's a bit of a culture. It's probably a mix of both.
Is it time to talk about... Go ahead, James. Go ahead. Let me finish your point. I addressed this the last episode. There's a problem with us cutting each other off before we make our points. Make your point.
Yeah. I just want to know, on the fan aspect, where the expectations of the Cleveland Browns being like the Buffalo Bills right now are. Like, I would much rather be in the position that we're in than being a Buffalo Bills fan and losing very important games by the skin of your teeth every single week for the past 2 weeks.
Jeff, answer that before me.
Oh, no, I was waiting on what you was going to say.
Well, I was going to say, I would rather be where we're at because we're a put-together team. Like, the Buffalo Bills, outside of Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and Von Miller, have nobody. Their defense is hurt. There's nobody healthy on either side of the ball. They just lost Devin Singletary, who scored his first 2 touchdowns of the season today. Like, I would rather be in our shoes. I would rather be in our shoes where everybody's coming back healthy. Like, so what? We didn't have the Chief today. The Chief could be back for Tampa Bay. We don't need to rush.
Harrison Bryant stepped up.
Harrison Bryant stepped up. Like, if we can win in Buffalo next week, and I'm moving on to next week because today was such a shit show and it didn't need to be like that. And it really upsets me the way that we played, especially with a full week of preparation. How does that happen? But whatever. We're on to Buffalo. Josh Allen might not play. I mean,
nah, Josh Allen is going to play every single game that he can.
Why would he not play? What?
well,
They are not going to sit Josh Allen.
the way that he made that tackle before that overtime period happened, he did not look like he was in a lot of comfort.
He's gonna play.
I don't know.
Bro, did you see the brace? You see the brace they had on his elbow? They're gonna make that man play.
Let me ask y'all a question. Josh Allen's our quarterback, right? That he has a UCL injury, and James, you should know this as much as anybody being a baseball player with your elbow. When you have that type of injury and you have enough time to heal it before it's time to go to the postseason, and you have somebody like Case Keenum as a backup role, why would you not sit him down? It's the same argument with Baker Mayfield last year when he has his option picked up to heal his shoulder.
Because you can't heal what he's got going on by the time the postseason comes around. Like, it's either surgery or bust. With an injury like that, throwing a baseball and throwing a football are very different motions.
Correct.
And he's going to have a lot more success and discomfort throwing a football than he would a baseball. And, your arm slot in football usually stays around the same unless you're Patrick Mahomes. And Josh really needs, he's a big boy too. He's stout.
That's what I was going to say. He takes a lot of hits and gets.
Speaking on those hits, James, you and I have talked about this. Josh Allen's whole career. Do you think it's finally catching up with him? The way that he just doesn't give a fuck about his body and like he's just trying to do the best for the team when him doing the best for the team is actually working out worse for the team.
It's
like him trying to make that tackle after he threw that interception on that 4th down against the Vikings today when the Vikings drove down the field and tied it up ultimately to force it to overtime. When he did that and forced that tackle, like that's what I'm talking about. That's that Josh Allen hero shit that like would it drive you nuts if he was the Browns quarterback doing that? Like if you saw Deshaun doing something like that. That's what I'm ultimately asking.
Yeah, think about it. We were all Baker bros until he went to tackle someone after one of his interceptions, and then that tackle ruined his career.
Did he say we was all Baker bros?
He did say that, and I'm not gonna lie. We all was on the bandwagon. We all.
You're telling me
don't speak for yourself,
Baker
bud.
Mayfield?
Oh, Jeff, come on. That's why we was fucking going all hard because it's like fuck you, dog.
Right.
You had
you
had us all bought in, you bitch.
Right. No, for sure.
Baker Mayfield doesn't try to make that tackle. He's probably still the quarterback right now. So like,
I doubt it.
They need to show that
I'm with you, Jake.
To Josh Allen of Baker Mayfield, like literally throwing his career away right there.
No, and that's what I've been banging on the table for Buffalo Bills fans for the last 2 years. I've been saying, listen, that your guy that I wish we had outside of him and Joe Burrow, like he's gonna get hurt, bro, and it's because he doesn't know how to control himself. He's his own worst enemy, and those are the worst quarterbacks to have. Like even though they're so good, they're gonna just get fucked up.
Yeah. That's why Tom Brady's still in the league, man. You got to make business decisions.
Hey, I watched Tom Brady go 3-and-out this morning.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah,
what did you think of the German fans?
I'll tell you one thing. I wasn't a big fan of their national anthem.
The German national. I didn't see that.
It was mid.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
James, you watch any of the game?
I did see a couple
No.
Browns fans in the crowd.
There's
though.
always, hey, here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Ooh, ooh.
No, but yeah. He looked like
Yeah,
shit.
no, I didn't get to watch any German. I was too
think-
busy eating
I think
breakfast.
Giselle's really getting to his head.
You were, what do you, where'd you go eat breakfast?
New, well, not new, but new location place in Kent called Over Easy at the Depot.
What'd you eat? What'd you
Say
get?
that again? Over easy
It's called
at the depot.
Over Easy. Yeah, it's in an old train depot.
All right.
What'd you order?
Chorizo skillet with corn muffins.
Wait, so you got scrambled eggs at Over Easy?
Well, yeah.
James, would you say you're a good cook?
No. How do you guys like your eggs?
Scrambled, 100%.
Scrambled? What you got?
Scrambled. I like them over easy. I like them all kinds of ways.
I might be the oddball out. I like them over medium.
Over me. I never heard
Over
of that.
medium.
Why?
Are you kidding me?
James said,
I
why?
probably like
I
No,
do
but you
mine.
got to make them right over medium. Like,
But
they
what
don't-
is over medium?
Okay, so
Nah.
it's like over easy, but like the yolk is cooked just a little bit, but it's still kind of runny, but it's not like water. Like over easy. Sometimes they
Yeah.
be making them too raw.
I do mine
I'm
sunny
real
side up.
particular about my eggs too. Let me tell
Sunny side up. What's sunny side
you. Oh
up?
hell no! Sunny side up. You need thrown in a padded room.
What are you talking about? That's the most picture. A sunny side up egg is the most picture perfect egg. That's the egg they
No.
literally use for every depiction.
Who
of
do
an
you
egg.
think? Who do you think out of me, you, and Jeff could cook the best egg?
Oh, that's no question.
Me?
Oh, James, get off this pod right now.
Oh,
Well, let me ask you an even tougher question. Who do you think could make the best chili out of the three of us?
I'm gonna give up because my chili was runny. So
Oh,
You're gonna give up. What
You
if
got
you
some
had? What
boof
if you had?
chili?
What if you had an opportunity to make it the way you wanted? Like you had time to perfect the recipe.
I mean, come on now. The only guy that still has excess, like an amount of excess body fat on him, me. Please.
So you're saying if you had time to perfect your recipe, you would have the best chili out of me and Jeff.
Nah, I think Jeff would probably have the best.
yeah, because
chili
I don't need no
any
time. I
blue-collar
just show
guy-
up and make good chili. What do
I
you
don't know,
mean?
Jeff.
Well, no,
I
because
think
Jeff's-
I could
Jeff's
give you a run for your
blue-collar.
money.
He's just gonna throw a shit
I
ton of
don't-
ass
Hey, I'm here for
chilies
this.
in there.
I think I could give you a run for your money.
No, I don't doubt Joe can cook. But it's me, man.
I don't. Hey, let's put a prize up.
What's the prize?
Hey, do the three of y'all want to have a chili cook-off for
A
the
chili
for the
cook-off?
pod?
Hey, man, I'll eat this shit
Maybe.
live on air.
No, I'll eat it.
No, this is why Jake's here
Have
because
Jake the judge?
Jake's gonna be the judge.
Okay.
What do you think,
Chili
James?
cook-off.
You want to have a chili cook-off?
You guys ever been to a chili cook-off? Though?
I've never been to a chili cook-off, but we could have our own chili cook-off here. Listen, I have the okays.
like
I have the
spicy.
okays from all the. Listen,
You already know.
I have the okays from all the third parties involved. This is up to you and James now. Are we gonna do this,
Yeah.
I mean,
James? You could make
Yeah.
it. You could make. You could
James
make it.
would have to show face, though, so I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. He could make it the night before, put it in a crock pot, just like I'm doing, and we could bring the crock pots over here
Just
and we
drop
set it up in
off,
the kitchen.
James.
just drop it off and then Skype it.
yeah. Can I do a mail-in ballot?
No, man, you got to show up. You got to
Yeah,
sack
you
up.
Can mail it.
No, hey,
You can mail it.
Thanksgiving.
I can't promise yours is gonna be good. Though.
It's gonna be
Why don't we shoot for Thanksgiving Saturday?
Thanksgiving Saturday.
We shoot the segment for the chili. That way we don't have to make it a full fucking thing. Everybody's doing their thing. We could make it that
Wait, you're
weekend.
saying it's the same week of Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna be eating leftovers. We gotta do it the week before.
So next weekend.
Yeah, next
You're
week.
gonna be eating leftovers.
No, yeah, you know it. Oh man. Oh, I got another topic for you while we're on.
Well,
food.
wait. Before we're gonna figure out this chili cook-off real quick.
Okay.
When-
we gotta
Let's
figure
figure it out. Let's figure it out off air because
Yeah.
next weekend may not work for me.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, well, we have until Christmas. Let's shoot before Christmas. Let's make a chili cook-off
That
before
works.
Christmas. That way,
works.
football season is still in full swing. The snow's about to fall. It's gonna be fucking cold. I just want to. We all are cooks around here, and this channel's about to change a little bit. I've got some ideas. Subscribe to the YouTube. Cleveland's biggest diehards. I promise you, something's about to change real quick.
Hey, we didn't even plan this conversation, and then
No, I told you I had something to. I told you I had something for the show. We're gonna have a CBD Cleveland's biggest chili cook-off.
all right, now
So go ahead.
stuffing. All right,
All right.
How do you eat, or either how do you make it, or how do the people that make it for you? How do they make it?
I like it from scratch.
Yeah, it's usually
No, but okay, what's the ingredients?
Like
bread.
yeah, garlic.
Okay, tell me why this girl at work,
onions, scallions,
this chick at work said cornbread is like
cornbread.
what they. I said no, there's like a corn bake. She's like no, the stuffing has cornbread.
Well, you have to put it in the turkey.
No, you get like real thick bread.
Yeah.
And you break it.
You
up.
like let it sit out, get dry.
Yeah, you get.
And
it
then you
dried
throw some
out,
chicken
you throw
stock
stuff
on there
it,
with the celery and
Then
carrots.
you bake it.
I think
I don't know. I haven't heard James yet. Go
Yeah,
ahead, James.
James. Yeah, what you got?
that girl at work got it right because that cornbread is going to add a different texture to it because you're going to get more of like that mealiness to it.
Yeah, but then it's like
And it's
sweet.
really-
I like my shit like savory, salty. Throw the gravy on that shit.
Dude, I feel like we
Well,
should.
yeah.
We need to
And I
start
eat
a-
it cold.
We need to start a
Stuffing.
Well,
cooking.
if you know
Like,
how
it's
to cook, you
life-changing.
can make cornbread savory.
Just the stuff you.
Yeah.
Let me.
Put bread in.
No,
it.
but the corn bake, when you put like the cream corn with the cornbread mix together and like some other shit, sour cream and cheese, I think. No, that shit go. It's like a casserole. That shit's a different.
If there's one person I know that can make a fucking fire casserole, it's our producer who makes all the shit possible.
Hey, no, every
Jeff
year
makes
I got the
great
green bean
casseroles,
casserole.
man.
I make whatever, man. What you want? Are y'all hungry? Like,
Yeah. But before we hang up, James, you've been talking about the Cavaliers being on a slide while this is
wait,
Cleveland's
we're not
biggest
taking a
diehards.
beer break? Or?
We'll take a beer break at the end. I wanted to have my boy here just to make sure that he was witness to the fact that he's going to be the judge of the Cleveland's biggest chili cook-off.
Well, there you go.
James, what do you think about the Cavaliers? Even though we lost, I mean, again, we're 8-5 now, so you have all the reason to say what you said earlier, but tell the people that what you didn't say on air.
So another side note, I also think we should do a scrambled egg challenge.
No, I'm
as
with
well.
it. I wasn't expecting that to be a part of it, so yes, we'll do the scrambled egg challenge as well.
Oh man,
Yeah.
my scrambled is shitting on all of your scrambles.
I'm happy to judge any dish you guys want to make.
Jakey
All right?
Football is all-time judge on Cleveland's biggest diehards. No matter what we cook, he's gonna be here.
Or like whatever challenges we do. Like this could go more than just a cooking challenge.
Hey, just give me like 2 beer breaks. I'll eat anything.
I love it. But nah, man, the Cavs are. I mean, they're hurt. They were without Mitchell and Allen tonight, so that definitely sucks. Definitely don't want to lose to Minnesota, but I think JB said earlier when they were out west that they were playing arrogant ball.
Yep.
I think having a lot of dog fights early in the season, having to go up against the Celtics twice,
Golden State.
playing long games in overtime. I mean, the team is. I mean, they're beat up early. Like,
they
we were
fought-
without Garland.
They fought
For
to
so
come
long.
back.
When they play Golden State on Friday night, I will say I hate to be this guy. I'm gonna be this guy tonight, but like the referees fucked us, and I hate being that guy because it should just come down to ball being ball. But you also can't stop Steph Curry from being Steph Curry and putting 39 up and being the man that he is. Like, but they were looking around. The Golden State Warriors were looking around at timeouts early on in the game. Like, wait a second. Wait, whoa. These are the Cleveland Cavaliers? wait a second. Wait. It says Cavs on, but like they're beating the fuck out of us right now. Like they kept like Draymond Green was trying everything he could to get Jared Allen thrown out of the game. And that shows that he knows that they can't get as physical as they can. If we play them in 7 games, if it comes down to that in June, Cavaliers might win that motherfucking series, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the biggest thing is we got to start playing Dean Wade a bit more. We got to swap
He's
him out
hurt.
with the
He's
core,
hurt.
man.
Everybody that's hurt has ankle issues.
hurt. And that's
It's
why
'cause this
Mitchell.
team
That's why
is-
Mitchell didn't play tonight because he had a real. He had a
Yeah.
real tweak on Friday night against the Warriors.
This team plays physical, man. It's bad. Like it's their like
They're a team
worst
full of
asset.
Let
Junkyard
Josh.
dogs.
let our last episode, you were going to the game against the Boston Celtics when they blacked out Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse with the T-shirts and the jerseys. Go into what it's like now that the Cavaliers are good without LeBron James. What is it like now to see a Cavs game at a sold-out Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse? Get into that.
I hadn't seen the city packed since opening day. I mean, it was crazy. You walked in, the atmosphere, everyone's excited to watch basketball. The intro video is awesome. I mean, Dan Gilbert put in so much money now. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
Fucking
while
drunk
we're
guys are fighting them at the Budweiser brew house. People were just having a
Hell
great
yeah.
time. It's loud. I mean, it was crazy. It was definitely a Cavs town that night.
shout out to thoughts and prayers to Nick Gilbert.
Go free ads.
Thoughts and prayers to Nick Gilbert. I know he's
man,
going
that's
through
crazy.
some things. I know that's why they're wearing the bow ties. So he's the reason why we won them lottery all them times, man. Shout out you, Nick.
Was it
Hope
3
everything's
years
going
or-
well. That's when we got Kyrie. That's
Yeah.
when we got Anthony Bennett, and that's when we got Andrew
Anthony
Wiggins.
Bennett, man. Oh, speaking of Wiggins, on the Drake album, 21 had a line, Wiggins something. Like I've been to Kansas. No, that shit was hard.
The
That shit was
Kansas line. But I think it's a long season. I know a lot of Cavs fans are acting like the Guardians fans were, and we're gonna have to be that podcast that tells you guys long season to go. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, just like there was always a lot of baseball left to be played. I guess I'll be the guy to say it again. Watch these Cavaliers. They're a lot of fun to watch, and they're entertaining as hell. And when they win those games, they win them with style, baby. So give them your time now because it's going to be worth it in the future. Trust me. And I won't put it past Kobe Altman to make a trade or two to get the bench real leveled up to get ready for playoff time.
Dude, we're deep though. If we get people back from injuries, we're a deep squad.
well,
People are afraid to play the Cavs.
Ricky Rubio still isn't healthy yet, which would take the place of Darius Garland whenever Darius Garland's coming off the floor, and that's just another starting point guard like anywhere
Yeah.
else in a lower tier NBA team.
Yeah, I think if we move one piece, it's definitely going to be Okoro. And if we trade Okoro, it'll probably be for draft capital. I couldn't really see getting any talent back for him
What's
unless we.
Go ahead, James.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, unless we finesse someone, but you look at a team like Utah, where they literally just became the Cavaliers because they have 4 of our guys.
Yeah.
I miss Larry
It makes
Markkinen.
me miss. I miss him so much, but it's just so fitting that he's doing what he's doing in Utah because they hated it when it was Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a long season, man. I think the Cavs gonna be all right.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They're going to the playoffs. That's for sure. They're not missing out. They're not going to be a
I
playing
can't see
team.
a future with the playoffs not in it.
We got it. For some reason, we're missing out on this podcast getting together and going to games. Should we make it a Cavs game?
Yeah,
Can we make it a Cavs
Yeah.
game to where everybody fucking makes it out and does the thing?
we can do it.
All right, bet.
Absolutely. We need to hit up the fucking monsters, too. Let's get
I'm with that, James. I'll
No,
go.
hockey is I can't watch that shit on TV, but live in person, it's different. It's like baseball. I can't watch baseball on TV unless it's playoffs. But yeah,
A little Guardians news. To wrap up. Chris Antoinetti came out a couple days ago and said we are not trading Shane Bieber. He will
nice.
be on the roster in 2023. He will be our ace
Good
in 2023.
good shit.
And
I'm
the press asked him, well, have you been in any talks with the Oakland Athletics about Sean Murphy? Or, I didn't know this, the Toronto Blue Jays about Alejandro Kirk? And Chris Antoinetti chuckled and goes, I don't know, you should ask them.
What's that mean?
which means the Guardians are trying to add a catcher with a bat.
Yeah. What's his name?
Jose's surgery went as well as it could have went. He should be able to resume baseball activities in 6 to 8 weeks, which means get well, Jose. Sit your ass down, and we'll see you in fucking February, March.
Yeah. Right when you come back.
I can't let an episode go by without me talking about the Guardians. Like I
Cleveland's
can't,
biggest
I
diehards, man.
can't wait for spring training, dog. Like, oh man, and you know,
I mean, you're dressed for the occasion.
the Houston Astros won the World Series. I guess we can say that because we haven't recorded since that happened. So I'm not going to say congratulations because y'all a bunch of cheaters, but I will say congratulations to Dusty Baker because Dusty Baker's been around baseball for a long, long time and he's never won a World Series. So Dusty, if anybody deserves it, man, it's you. It's just a shame that you had to manage that fucking ball club full of cheaters.
Yeah, and it is kind of shady that their GM and assistant GM
Right?
stepped
Isn't
down.
coming back. They're not coming back.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's
You
very
ain't stripping
odd.
this
But,
for me, motherfucker. I'm taking this and running. That's what they said.
Hey, man, that's Houston for you, man. They're always doing some dirty shit out there.
Well, James, if there's one Guardians player you wish they could get before we end and we hang up, what Guardians player would you like them to get before we record next time we record? And who knows when the fuck that'll be because, as you can tell, we're inconsistent as fuck. But, hey, that's Cleveland for you.
You mean what free agent should we go get?
Whoever, man, make a prediction. Throw a fucking name out there. Who's going to be a Cleveland Guardian?
You know, I'll throw a curveball at you. I've been seeing rumblings that there is someone on the lineup that may not be a Cleveland Guardian next year, and it's Miles Straw.
I don't know, man. I think I saw that as well. I think that was all just people were bored as fuck and had nothing else to do that night. And Miles Straw is just, I mean, he's signed through 2027.
It's true. I mean, you never know. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's just sell the house, go get Aaron Judge, and win a World Series.
Go get Aaron. I mean, I think those fellas got swept, did they not?
Well, after Aaron Judge,
good outside of New York,
Yeah.
well,
that stadium built for him.
Look, I'll say one
He
thing.
hits to the
I've been
right
seeing
every
rumors
time.
about it.
Same curve in my pecker.
I've been seeing rumors about it. I will be devastated if we go out and get Jock Pederson. I do not want that motherfucker.
could
near
you
me
imagine
every
if
week.
Jock Peterson was a Cleveland? We would have to bow down to him in the next vlog.
Where's your
Fuck
pearls at,
no.
bitch?
No, we literally could yell at him, "Where are your fucking pearls at?" and he would remember us immediately.
I couldn't do it, man. I would hate him.
You would just turn in your Guardians card, or?
Well, no, he would be my version of Joe's Mark
Oh
Reynolds.
yeah.
You are one. Yep,
There
you're
you go.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, like
You're right.
you'll stand the whole game, but as soon as he comes up to bat, you'll sit down. Or you go
Turn
take
around.
a piss.
Well, James, do you have anything else you would like to get off your chest on this
That's
14th?
Fran Mill for me.
That's Fran Meal for me as well.
Fuck.
Yeah, I
Fran
mean,
Mill. God, why is he up?
What, James?
I think last but not least, shout out Montana Love bringing boxing back to the land. Love
Hell
to
yeah.
see it.
Hell
Love
yeah.
to see an actual fighter fighting in Rocket Mortgage and not Jake Paul. So that was great.
Give Stipe a fucking shot. I don't know what's going on in the UFC, but I heard Stipe and John Bones Jones are about to fight each other to see who fights Francis Ngannou for the belt. Give Stipe a shot to get the fucking belt back.
Hell yeah.
Ain't no way, bro. Stipe's done.
No, he wants to win the heavyweight championship one more time before he retires. He said that when he lost it. Give him a shot. He
can do
wants
it.
to do it.
He can do it.
Let's do it, Stipe. Do it for the land.
James, anything?
Oh, well, boys, it's been real. It's been fun. Until we win, it won't be real fun.
Predictions for next week against Buffalo because we're going to record after it.
Oh, fuck. Honestly, I'm going to be pessimistic. We drop a close one, like 21-20.
We're going to win 35-31.
We're gonna fucking tie.
Nice prediction, Jeff.
We're gonna fucking tie.
Thanks for
42-7.
42-7 who, Jake?
That's what G-Wit said.
Oh, whatever. We don't give a fuck what he has to say.
42-7.
Well, all right,
Should we
Jake.
call Rick?
Do you want to call Rick?
Please call
We
Rick.
should call Rick.
Let's see if he picks up. All right, James. Thank you for joining us on Cleveland's Biggest Diehards. We love you. We'll talk to you next week when you're either here in person or zooming in, baby.
Absolutely. Love you, boys.
All right, love you, Doug.
All
Love you, James.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let's
You
take
gotta let
let's
me
take a
hear
beer
Rick.
break,
Take a beer break and
and then we'll call Rick.
All right, but
All right. This has been the first half of Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, a podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. After this beer break, let's see if we get Rick. Welcome to the beer break. This is Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. And just as always, Jeff prematurely cracks his bottle.
oops.
Here, Jake, let's do it properly. Welcome to the beer break. This is Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the
I like to
podcast
bust
for
my
diehard.
top early.
Oh shit! Let's try to get a
So
real.
does Joe.
Let's try to get a real diehard on the horn here. Let's see if we can
Yeah.
get Rick.
All right, let's get him.
Shout out to y'all listening. Shout out to y'all watching. If y'all listening and not watching, subscribe to the YouTube. This has been the beer break. This is
CBD.
Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. Let's fucking roll. This is the beer break. Welcome back to Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional
I know, I
sports
like that
fans.
Man, I love pretzels. That's how I know.
This is the second half. We're trying, well, not trying, we haven't tried yet. We're about to try to get an old head on the horn here, right? That's what we're trying to do.
If we don't get
on
Rick,
the horn.
if we don't get Rick, can we go Pops?
Oh, we
no,
got-
he
yeah,
no, he's asleep. 100%.
we'll wake
What
his
time
ass
is it?
up.
No, he's
It's only 10.
no. Yeah, guess what? The CPAP is on.
Oh, he ain't hearing that shit.
He ain't hearing that shit.
Yeah, you right.
Not at all. But who are we trying to call?
We're calling Rick, man. We're calling
Who's
my step-
Rick?
That's my stepdad, man. He's Cleveland's biggest diehard through and through.
He's seen Red Right 88. He has seen the drive.
He's seen it all.
He has seen Ernest Biner fumble the football. He has seen, well, like the rest of us at this point, LeBron James get his ass beat in, 3 out of the 5 or 4 finals that we've seen?
Yep. Oh, he's
Do you,
seen it
do you
all,
remember?
man.
Do you remember when we went and watched that fucking game at that bar
Which one?
when KD first got there? That was some that was some bullshit. We fucking shut that place down.
Yep. Until about 4 in the morning. They closed at noon or midnight.
All right, Jeff, you
All right,
ready?
I'm gonna get Rick on the phone.
We're gonna
here.
try. We're
On
gonna
the
try.
phone here.
He has no idea either.
Yeah, he has no idea
He has
we're calling.
no idea.
Let's get him on.
This could only be good podcasting, or it could be.
He's
Answering
He's
machine.
gonna be so pissed. We're probably about to wake his ass up.
It's 10:20.
Hello?
Rick,
Yo.
you're on Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Joe. What's happening?
My man. So we couldn't think of anybody else other than you to call about what the hell has been going on this last few weeks with the Cleveland Browns. Air your fanatical grievances out. The floor
Please.
is yours, man. Please tell us what the fuck is going on with these Browns.
These Browns are still conflicted by the Deshaun Watson signing, and it's showing in their play. And I think the team is giving up on the coaching staff and everybody who's made those decisions. And I don't think it's going to change when he gets on the field. I really don't.
So
Don't think that's going to happen.
do you think that Stefanski is the problem in why we're not being able to effectively produce the football plays the way that we need to make them go to win these games? Like, I know that's fucked up the way that I said it, but
I
I don't think he's got the players' support, and I don't know if he has anything to do with the defensive side of the ball or not, but that's a major concern if they're not playing together. That defense is just getting torched, and you can't tell me that just because the Browns don't have linebackers and they're all hurt, everybody's hurt, everybody plays injured
Right.
throughout a season. You can't tell me that they're going to play any worse than they had at the beginning of the season. I don't think it could get much worse right now.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Even today, though, Rick, let's give it to the Miami Dolphins. They game planned very well for us. They knew that we were going to keep their receivers in front of them and forced us to stop them running the football, and we couldn't do that today.
Well, it's really puzzling because of the way the game started out. I mean, they had a good flow on the offense, but as soon as that fumble happened with Chubb, it's like everything went downhill.
And
there.
You can't let that happen. Even if Deshaun's the quarterback, if something like that happens, there's no coming back from that. I understand what you're saying when you started your conversation. And
I don't think they're being prepared to play the game properly.
I agree.
And they had a week to do. They had a week.
Coaching. That has to do with coaching,
for sure.
I agree with all that. Like, how are you not, like, did they not watch the Bears game when the Dolphins played them last week? Like, did they not see that they were in a shootout all week? Did they not see that, covering the middle of the field is going to help like they did today, but you have to be able to stop those running backs. That was nowhere near evident. And like you made
Miami's and Miami's defense is not world beating.
Right.
They're one of the worst defenses on the passing they're like a passing funnel.
Yeah.
Our tackles played terribly. We didn't give Jacoby enough time to settle in on those third downs when we needed them.
They definitely wasn't blocking well, for sure.
71.
I mean, regardless, though, once again, you can't tell me just because Wyatt Teller's not in there that they're going to play any worse.
No, you're right. And Froholt played incredibly well the 2 weeks that he had to go in there and play right guard. So you're right when you say that. Like, you're telling me that just because he's not in there, because he started the game, that the guy that's been in there for the last 2 weeks can't fill that shoe? Like, you're right.
Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, and you already knew that you wasn't going to get a pass rush on Tua because he gets rid of the ball in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you think
you're not? So why not prep? Why not prep? Okay, so they took away the middle on them, and then they played the outside wing. They had a game plan for what we were doing. We had no solution for what they were doing. We didn't adjust. They did. They adjust. They played the game that they played. I mean,
would you agree that
they don't have one of the best rushing teams in the NFL, and they ran it down our throats?
Would you agree that that's the Joe Woods issue that it's been all season, to where like everybody and their mom understands what the problem is at halftime, and there's just no adjusting whatsoever when they come? Like, we're just running the same shit.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna put every bit of money that I have. If he survives the season, that'll be in his story.
Kevin?
He's gone. He better be gone after this season. They better not give him another year. Yeah, correct. They better not. I mean, I understand if they're going to keep Stefanski, but I tell you what, they definitely got to get rid of the special teams coach and the defensive coordinator.
Would you, the way I look at how this coaching staff is set up and the way Stefanski has set his coaching staff up, would you think we're starting to get into the same problems that the Pittsburgh Steelers are getting into with Mike Tomlin, to where he's too loyal to his coaching staff, and when he knows he has to let somebody go, like Joe Woods has been on his staff since he's been there. It's time to let him go. It's time to get somebody in there that knows how to scheme, but he's too loyal to his guys. Do you think that's going to be the death of Kevin Stefanski?
If so, he'll be gone with them.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. There you
I
go.
don't think they're going to give him a choice.
Yeah.
Yep. I
You
agree.
better fix something now, or you get out of town too.
I think that's his problem, though, Rick. Like, Stefanski he's the best first drive scripter ever in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, every single time the Browns get the football for the first time, they're scoring 7 points. Yeah. And it's great to see. But the problem is we don't adjust and we don't make the game plan. And I think because he's so loyal, like you said, he's going to be gone. You have to be able to be a head coach in this league, and you have to be able to just put your foot down and say, that's not working. Let's try something else. And I don't think Stefanski has the balls to do that.
And that'll be his shortcoming for sure if that's the case. But I tell you what, if I have to watch another year of this,
I'm with you.
mean,
I think Browns fans are with you as well.
I seen some post on not Instagram, but
Facebook,
Twitter.
Twitter.
It said with Deshaun Watson, we could at least be 4-5.
I saw the same thing.
What are we talking about?
I know. I think it was like
it doesn't matter.
Right.
That had to have
who's
been
the
a joke.
quarterback right now, because it's not the quarterback that's the problem right now. It's
the
we can't
defense
stay
and the
in
special
games.
teams.
I mean,
we can't stay in games to play.
Well,
you know?
we could get into the Browns play calling all day long, but while I have you on the telephone, the Cleveland Cavaliers, even though we're 8-4 and we lost tonight, what do you think when we're fully healthy with DG, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert starting 5 on the floor? What do you think?
Well, I think the last 4 or 5 games now, is that 5 in a row? I believe
four in a
that's
row we
5 in a
lost.
row.
4 in a row.
4 in a row. It's all on the defensive end. For some reason, there's
Correct.
a big lapse, and they almost came back and won tonight.
Right.
They got it down to 2 points with 13 seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
And
do you think it's working? Like having Donovan Mitchell be that.
Again, here's one. And I'm not a basher.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I am
you're
not
a fucking
fan of
sports
JB
fan, man. That's why we called you.
I'm not a fan of him at all.
Really, JB Bickerstaff? You're not a fan of JB Bickerstaff?
He was when he coached. I believe he coached the Pacers. Every year they would make. I think they made the play. I think he coached. Check my records, but every time they made the playoffs, they got ousted in the first round every time.
Okay.
And that's why he ain't coaching over in Indianapolis. But every time it came, he couldn't get those guys to play consistent throughout. And I'm gonna give them a little break tonight, mostly because 3 players injured.
Right.
So
no Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, you can't play that. That's not the way they're set up. So
it's early on. It's 12 games into the season.
If they don't change something, once again, I'm not a big. I love the Cavs, and I'm happy that Bickerstaff is overachieving. To me, he's overachieving, but I don't think he's the coach that's going to get them to any run in the playoffs. That's all I know. To me. But there is nobody else better out there that I could say that I'd want to coach anyhow. So
might as well roll with what we got.
Yeah, we'll see. But if he can't, get those guys at least get into the playoffs this year, I think they're going to have to look for changes there too, because you got way too much talent now not to at least make it into the top 8. You know what I mean?
That pretty much answers my next question. I was going to say, do you think Donovan Mitchell was worth the capital that we gave up? Because I think so.
If they don't get, people are saying, that's just not me, but people are saying that if they aren't one of the top 4 teams, that wasn't worth their trade.
Not
you're
wrong.
losing a lot of stuff. You're losing a lot of players over
I mean, Larry Markkinen
good
is a top
players.
guy in the West. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, we appreciate you being
I
on
just
Cleveland.
don't think. What is Donovan Mitchell their shooting guard? Correct.
Yeah, that's our
I don't
two-guard
think
win.
a shooting guard is worth all that capital they gave up. That's all.
Well, I think
They had the point guard. They had a point guard. I mean, if
but I think
I
it
don't know
worked.
if there's any good
I think
shooting
it,
forwards out there, but that's where we were lacking, and still lacking is the small forward.
No, I agree we're lacking in the small forward, but I think where we were lacking the most, like last year, I was screaming on the table like we needed a two-guard. We finally got the two-guard in Donovan Mitchell. That's making up for
I
the
know. I just don't know if it was worth all that. That's all.
I mean, Larry Markkinen is making it look like we should have kept the 7 3-footers on the floor.
Yeah, I know.
I
know, but it's early in the year. We'll see how that goes. Just like the losses the Cavs have built up, it's just a matter on getting back to some of their defensive. They got to get back on the defensive end of the ball a little bit.
Well, you're a baseball fan just like me. There's 82 games. It's a long fucking season. You already know how it goes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got a long season. It's a long season, and hey, I just want to hope they make it in so they could, get the experience to move further on the following year. Get better each year. That's all I hope for.
And that's all we hope for, man. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you picking up the phone, man. Thank you for being a guest on Cleveland's Biggest Diehards. We appreciate you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, you got it.
Hey, you have a good night, man. Thank you.
Yep. See ya.
Later.
Hell yeah, man.
That was
I'm glad
awesome.
he answered, man. That was perfect.
Was
Rick gonna
perfect.
be a regular guest.
Hell yeah.
Hey, these pretzels is hitting, by the way.
I think we need to just call Rick. On Sundays, we'll just call him.
Dude, I knew, Rick has always and should have been, a radio
Calling
talk
guy.
show. Yeah, just something, anything.
That
It's
was
perfect.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Well, you got anything?
I
You
think
ready to
we're
be?
good.
You ready to be a chili
The
judge?
chili judge?
Dude, I'm ready to eat.
Hey, if you guys want to see more of Jakey football, click like, leave a comment, leave a fucking description. Actually, subscribe to wherever you're at. Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's Apple. Maybe it's Spotify. Maybe it's Google. Maybe it's Amazon. Maybe it's fucking Stitcher.
Maybe you need a truck. And
Hey,
my dude can do that for you.
Jakey Ram.
Hey, maybe you need some concrete. I could do that for you.
Hey, Jeff, the producer that makes all the concrete possible.
Yep,
You already know
I
that.
got new music dropping soon. So.
Hey, go check out that. What was that called? That freestyle.
Privileged Rappers freestyle.
Privileged Rappers freestyle on Prospects YouTube, baby. Go check that shit out.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This has been the 14th, right? 14th? 14th. Can't believe it. This has been the 14th episode of Cleveland's Biggest Diehards, the podcast for diehard Cleveland professional sports fans. Go Guardians. Go Cavaliers. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.